But Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, he said, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied, ye faint in your minds. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin." Thank you for standing for the reading. He said, "Wherefore, seeing we are compassed with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily beset us." And I thought in this race we are in, we're going to come in contact with things that we must simply not allow to stay around. And I thought, as I began to think about it, a lot of times we don't have a problem necessarily with the sin. You know, we recognize sin. But a lot of times it's that weight, that simple thing that just weighs us down. And I thought we can take on a lot of weight. It's unnecessary. I thought, I can sit, and I'm not a ponderer. If you sit and ponder, then a lot of times you're going to end up getting yourself in trouble. You're going to get depressed. You're going to end up with heart trouble, high blood pressure, and all that stuff. Now, if you got it, I'm sorry, but I guess the Lord's blessed me. I've never had to deal with that, other than the time I went to the doctor and he put me on some medicine for arthritis, shot my blood pressure up. I shared that. Then he wanted to put me on blood pressure people. No, I didn't have a problem. I came to see you. But I thought all the time we ponder about things. And I thought that when we ponder, we're allowing weight to come on us.
Right.
And but I thought, there's some things that if I title this tonight, I just title it, "It's got to go." Some things have just got to go.
Come on. Come on.
I mean, you just got to let it go.
Yes.
I thought Paul said, "Let us lay aside every weight in the sin."
Yes.
And I thought, sin he mentioned, but the weight, he mentioned weight before he mentioned sin. Yeah. And I thought about it because so many times we want to hold on to the weights. And I thought, and there's sometimes we recognize things and we know that they got to go. I mean, there's some things you just, you got to get rid of. Sister Kathy and I hadn't been married a long time. And we lived in the trailer behind Mom and Dad. So it was at least the first 5 years we was married. We lived there 5 years. And I think we'd been married maybe a couple of years. And we was getting ready to go to bed one night. And I pulled the cover back, and she did one, and there was a big old spider on her pillow. And if anybody knows Sister Kathy, she is terrified of spiders. And she hollered at me, and she said, "Kill it." So I killed the spider. I got rid of it. And she said, "Check this room over and make sure there's no more spiders." I said, "Honey, there's no more spiders. We killed the spider. It's dead. I smashed it. It's gone." She said, "You got to check." Amen. Well, I'm not scared of spiders, Brother Bill. So I just halfway flipped up the bed and moved some stuff around on the nightstand. And I don't know what all I've done. And just looked around. And I said, "Honey, there is no spiders." Well, we walked over to the bed, and she looked up on the curtain, and there was another one, just as big or bigger than the one I killed. Needless to say, we slept at Mom's for about a week. She got up, we got her clothes on. She said, "I'm going to your mom's. I'm not sleeping in this house until you spray it." It had to go. It was necessary. if she was going to have any peace of mind, Brother Bill, to sleep in that bedroom again,
absolutely,
then I had to spray that thing and make sure there was no spiders.
right, yeah.
And I thought it had to go. The other day I came, I believe last Saturday, went back in my barn, and I've got things back there that I work with, and the central part of the barn floor, amazingly, is clean. I mean, I can back the tractor in there and work on it or whatever. And but I got a couple things there that I've got stuff piled on. And I was over on a workbench hunting for something, and I thought, buddy, this would be a good place for a cow snake. And luckily there wasn't one there. But I forgot about it. And I got over there on another cart, and I was standing about here to that microphone from it. And I looked down, and there was one of the biggest black snakes that I had ever seen. And the first thing I done was reach my pocket to grab my pistol, and I realized I didn't have snake shot. All I had that thing was hollow points, and that might hurt somebody or myself. And so I reached and grabbed the axe. Needless to say, the snake got away. So I moved the tractor I was working on outside. The thing has got to go. I was telling Brother Sparks about it. He said, well, that's just a black snake. I said, it's a snake. It's just the same. She has a fear of spiders. She'd probably go back there and pick the snake up. I don't know. She said they don't bother her. But I'm scared of snakes. I don't care. Brother Sparks said today they had a green snake on the back door of their house. I believe it was on the screen, on the window. And me and Brother Steve both said there would have been a hole in the screen. I don't care if it's just a little bitty green snake. I don't want them. And but I thought, some things have just got to go. And but then there's some things that we realize we don't necessarily like. We'd rather not be there, but we learn to tolerate. I came home Thursday from work, and Sister Kathy sitting on the porch, and we had a little small talk. Came in from work, I walked in the house, and there sat the sectional blowed all apart out in the middle of the floor. And I came again. I said, "What's going on?" She said, "There's a lizard in the house." I said, "Okay." And as scared as I am of a snake, a lizard does not bother me. I guess it's his legs. I don't know. And and so I walked in the house, and I looked under the couch. She said, "I tried to find him. He's there somewhere." She said, "It's cool in here. He ain't moving real fast." And anyway, I put the couch back together. Brother Steve, I laid down on the couch, took me out. The lizard didn't bother me. And but we sat there a little later. She looked up. She said, "There he is." He came back out, and I didn't have. I thought I had the blue boards. I called David at work and told him to go in my office before he came home and told him where they was at. Give me a couple of blue boards to bring them home. And I slid one under the couch. About an hour later, I looked under, and there he was. He was stuck down good and tight. And I thought, but the thing about it was, if that had been a black snake under my couch, there's no way I would have laid down on it, because it would have had to go. And if it had been a spider under that couch,
Come on, son.
I would have laid down, but Sister Kathy would not have laid down
Come on, son.
until it was gone. But because it was a lizard, and she's not necessarily afraid of him, she said, "Well, I don't want him in here, but he will eat the spiders." I said, "Yeah, he'll take care of the spiders." And but Steve, because he was in the house, it made us a little more uncomfortable. I wouldn't necessarily like to be in the bed and feel him crawl across my head or something. He's cold. He is a reptile. But I said all that, and it may be comical, but I thought, the things that we look at and we're not necessarily concerned about, even though they can be a weight to us, we allow them to stay around.
Come on.
And I thought, but we need to get rid of every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. And I thought, I told Brother Sparks, I'm going to give you some of that. I got on the phone and I got looking. It's a barn. There's going to be snakes in it. I've got some old junk piled up behind it. It's within, 10 foot of the woods. There's going to be snakes. But I also work in there. And so I told myself, I'm going to get me some snake away. And I'm going to surround the inside of that thing with snake away. And then I got to thinking, Brother Jim, what if the snake's in there? And I put snake away around the borders of the barn. How's he going to get out? And so now you're sort of at this dilemma. What do you do? And I thought, and a lot of times we look at the situation surrounding us, and we think we know that we need to do something about it. But then we wonder, what can I do? What am I going to do about this situation? And he said, he told them to lay them aside, that easily beset us. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of God, the throne of God. And I thought, we can get above the things that we need to get rid of.
Oh, yes.
The things that are besetting us.
Right.
And I thought, like I said, we don't have a problem. We recognize sin. Brother Sparks talking this morning. And some things that the Lord dealt with him on. And dealt with him on personally. And he don't have a problem with those things. God dealt with him on them. But then there's things that God can deal with us on that we know that we need to just let go of. But yet we want to hold on to them, knowing that they're keeping us from getting where we need to be with God.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I don't know about you, but I want to progress.
Uh-huh.
I don't like to be in a place where that I'm sitting still.
Right.
We was Brother Harold talking about being a wreck. It's a bad thing to be on the interstate heading somewhere and get in traffic because of an accident or something and stop dead still. You don't like that.
Right.
You want to be moving. We was going last night. We was going to Richmond and got out here just past Muddy Creek and they're going to wreck up through there. First thing that crossed my mind was David and Audrey and Colin had just went to Richmond just a few minutes before that, and so I was concerned and it might have been them or something, but it wasn't. But anyway, it was in a place where we could go around, so we cut up through and went around it. We was able to keep moving.
Yeah.
We had to take a detour, but I thought sometimes we look and we see those things that are bogging us down, and we get to where that we can't even move. We're stopped.
Come on.
And I thought, but we need to be able to progress on. But the weight many times is, like I said, is just like that lizard. We'd rather it not be there, but yet we're okay with it if we don't find it.
Come on.
If I hadn't found that thing Thursday night and hadn't got it on the glue board, I wouldn't have had a problem going in there, getting to bed, going to sleep. Like I said, if it had been one of the other two, the spider wouldn't have bothered me, but I would have been able to sleep because Kathy wouldn't have. She would have been able to sleep. And she probably wouldn't have slept with a snake in the house neither. But anyway, a lot of times we overlook those things. But I thought in the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 12, it says, and to the angel of the church of Pergamos, write these things, saith he which hath the sharp sword with two edges. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith. Even though those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols and commit fornication. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. You see, to hold them is what he's saying. You're holding to my name, even in the seat of Satan. He said, you have not denied my faith. He told them, you're sitting right in the seat of where the devil is. You're sitting right in a place where sin's abounding greatly.
Come on.
But you have but then he said, but you have not denied my faith. So he had that much, they had that much going for him. And I thought if we was ever living in a time where we're sitting in the seat of Satan, I thought it's in the day and hour that we're living in. And I thought there's a lot of us that we have not denied the faith. We're just like the church of Pergamos. We've not denied the Lord. But then he said, but I have a few things against you. He said, you see, Balaam, he could and he did hear from God.
Right.
Balaam knew the voice of God. But you see, Balaam, he allowed himself to be used, that he would lay a stumbling block before the children of God. And I thought when we do that, I thought we're allowing things to weight us down. We're being a weight. And I thought, like I said a while ago, some things are okay to us, but I thought they could be a stumbling block and a failure to someone else.
That's right.
You see, when we begin to allow things to hang around in our lives, we can cause others to fall.
Right, can.
And I thought Brother Sparks mentioned this morning. I've been in Sunday school about my Uncle Ray telling him about my great grandpa. The guy said that he was an outstanding man, godly man. Didn't allow himself to be drawn into things, and then mentioned some preacher's name, but he could tell a good joke. And I thought, that would be an occasion to cause someone else to stumble.
Right.
And I thought that was, his joke might not even been a bad one, but yet it been off color enough that it was a weight that was causing others to not see God.
That's right.
And I thought when we begin to allow those weights, that happens. I thought, it's often been said that pool rooms have the best hamburgers there is. Brother Sparks used to make funny and say it was because all the cigarette ashes that fell on them while they was cooking them. I don't know. And but I thought I never was in it, but up on 2nd Street, Taylor's Pool Room, we used to order out there, and they'd bring them to work, and they were good hamburgers. But Brother Jim, I'm not going to go in there, which is tore down now, but I wouldn't go in there just because they had the best hamburger, because I wouldn't want to be a stumble if someone seeing me go there.
Right.
And I thought neither am I going to go into the local tavern or the bar and grill. Somewhere that someone says bar and grill, then I don't see where we have any business being in there. You say, that's there's a thing, some things that we can allow to weight us and to keep us from being the witness that we need to be for God. And you say, well, you're meddling now. Well, I might be. But I thought, he said to lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily beset us. And I thought, when we are being beset, then we are not being the witness that we need to be for others.
Right.
And I thought, it really bothers me. And Sister Catherine and I, we listen to a lot of preachers online in different places. And, and she listens a lot more than I do. She's home all day. And especially in the winter, we listen to a lot. And it really bothers me when I listen to a man that's preaching, he's real anointed. I mean, real anointed, and he's preaching the Word of God, and then he gets off on some favorite place he likes to eat. And it's somewhere that I would not go. And, because it's a bar. And I'm like, what happened to their testimony? And I thought, once they do that, then I really don't even care if I listen to them no more or not. Because, they're going to places where I feel like that it's not right for a child of God to be.
Come on.
You imagine what? I thought if the Baptists can take the stand on it, why can't the Pentecostals take the stand on it? I thought, we listened to Brother Dave Carr on King of Kings radio, and his dad was an alcoholic. He knows what alcoholism does, and he fights it with every ounce of strength within him. And he's a Baptist man. And I thought, yet the holiness folk, we become lax to it. Tuesday night, I was listening to the radio, and with the things about the election going on in Powell County, just voted in. They think it's going to make the county rich. They voted it wet, and it's not. It's not going to help them very bit.
Right.
It's not helped Esther County none. And more or less, they just got two places where everybody throw the trash out in the parking lot now. I mean, that's just what it amounts to. But I thought, but yet I was listening to Kelly Wallingford. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, And he was talking there to different ones, and some of you may have heard it. And he said, whenever I was young, he said, you had the churches and the bootleggers, and then he named some other organization, I can't remember what it was now. And he said, they all came together, and they fought with everything they had to keep it from going well. And he was right. But the problem is, the bootleggers are still fighting, but the churches have got so used to it and so accustomed to it. And I was telling Sister Kathy today, half the people that I work with that claim to go to church, they go and buy it and they drink and they don't think nothing of it. So the church is beginning to accept it. So therefore they've allowed this. And it all started as a weight that turned into a sin that is now besetting them. And I thought that's why Paul, when he wrote this, he said, let's let every weight and the sin that doth so easily beset us, because we begin to hold on to these weights that are holding us down, and things that we ought to be letting go of, and then our weights turn into sins. And our sin is going to take us to hell. And I thought, and I thought we need to take a stand against the things of this world. And I thought, I don't stay out of the pool hall because I have a problem with gambling. Because I've never been a gambler. I've never played pool. A couple years ago we bought a little pool table and we put it in one of the bedrooms there at the house for us just to play with there at the house, and realized we ain't got a room big enough for it. Had to use a stick about that long, and that just took all the fun out of it, Brother Bill. So I really didn't know how to play anyway. But I didn't have a problem with that. But I thought, I've never had a problem with gambling. So I don't stay out of the pool room because of that. But I stay out of the pool room because of my witness. I don't want somebody to see me go into a place like that. I don't stay away from the bars and the places that serve alcohol because I'm tempted and I've had a problem with alcoholism, because I've never have. But it's my witness. It's a weight that I could take on to keep me from being effective for God. And I thought, tonight, I feel like we're in the final stretch of the race. I thought Brother Leon Buzzard preached the message in the home stretch. And after he had his leg amputated, and he was near dead, but the Lord helped him, and he went up and he preached a few revivals. But for Brother Buzzard, he was in his home stretch. He was in the last stretch of the race for Brother Leon Buzzard. And I thought, I feel like we're in the last stretch of the race for the Church of God. And I thought, so we need to get rid of all the things that's holding us back, that's keeping us from being where we need to be. It don't take a lot to hold us down. I thought several years ago, there at work, and we had built us a basketball goal. We mounted it on pallets, and we'd take the forklift, we'd go out on the load dock. On lunch break, we'd raise that up, and all of us men would go out there, and for 45 minutes we'd play basketball. OSHA came through and saw it and said it was unsafe, so we had to get rid of the basketball goal. We several of us, and I never was a good basketball player anyway, but I had a set of weights that were 3 pounds. They velcroed around my ankles. And all morning long I'd wear those. And there were several of us would wear those weights. And then at lunch you'd take those off, and I could feel like I could jump that high there. And just 6 pounds around my feet. But after wearing them for about 5 hours and I took that off, there was a weight let off me. And that wasn't much. You wear a pair, I don't, because it's cold there we work, you wear a pair of steel-toed boots all day. You take those off and you feel, man, what a relief. That weight is off me. And I thought, there's not a lot of weight there, but yet it holds us down.
Right, yeah.
I remember I'd take those things off and I'd get there and play basketball, and I could slam dunk that thing. Just because that weight, I'd got used to it all day, and I was free from it. And I thought, if we could let go of some things that are holding us down, how much higher could we go for God?
That's right.
I thought maybe this is, like I said last week, this ain't been no 3-point message. It's put all together nice and all that, but it's what I've been pondering since about Thursday night, to be honest with you. And and I thought, we need to get rid of some things.
Yes.
Some things we look at and we know, if I'm going to be comfortable here, this has got to go.
Yes.
But then there's those other things we look at and we say, well, I'd rather it not be there, but I can tolerate it. And I thought the problem is we're tolerating too much.
Right.
We're tolerating too much of the world. We're living in a world where they want us to tolerate everything. And I thought, and this last election, and there was a couple men that was running for office and thought because of their perverted mind that the world was going to, their area was going to vote them in because of their lifestyle. And we realized, thank God, there's not enough people that's tolerant that they're going to vote for it. So they didn't get it. Man, they was upset. But I thought the problem is the world is slowly getting more
Right.
and more tolerant.
Right.
We're allowing more and more of the things to weight us down. And we're not running the race that God would have for us to run effectively.
Right.
I thought, as they come against the song, I hope I've helped you. But I thought, what is it that you need to get rid of that you're just allowing to lay around? I thought, you don't know who's going to be here and who ain't when you get ready to preach. We just know what the Lord lays on our hearts.
Right.
And I thought some of us need to get rid of some things
Yes, sir.
that's keeping us from being what we need to be for God. There's a guy, and I'm hushing, and he worked for me for about a year for a temporary service, probably about 2 years. And I tolerated him. I mean, when he was there and he was sober, he was a good worker. I mean, you could depend on him to get it done. But the problem is, about every 3 weeks, he would go on a binge, and he came to work twice that way, and I had to send him home. Listen, Randy, you've got to go home. I can't put up with this. You're drunk. Oh, I'm not drunk. And staggering all over the place. And I wouldn't even take him home. He walked to work, and I'd make him walk back home. And really, Brother Jim, I was hoping to get him for PI on his way back to the house, and just to shake him up a little bit. But anyway, I finally had to let him go, and he went to work for a place up the street. Lost his job there. Another guy pulled in down there where he lives to drop another boy off the other day. He came out to his car, and he was drunk, and he's holding on to his door. He said, "Tell Mitchell, please let me have my job back." Tell him I've quit drinking. John said, "You're drunk now." And now, yeah, but don't tell Mitchell that. I need my job. And if he would stay sober, he was one of the best workers you could find.
Come on.
But I knew,
Right.
just as sure, if I let him come back, in about 3 weeks, he'd come in drunk again.
Uh-huh.
Because he can't let go. And I thought, no, we ain't doing that. But we're still having the same problems.
That's right.
We let it go for a while, and then we have the same things come back and weigh us down again.
Right.
Let it go.
Oh, God.
Let the Lord help us throw off those things that
Yes.
is weighting us down. As they get us a song tonight, let's pray.
Birthday